imagine a customer bot, car company bot, and a dealer bot all talking to each other. What could go wrong? I heard somebody on the Scout team say buying a car should be like buying a t-shirt on Amazon.
It'll never be that.
It will. First off,
It's not a t-shirt.
the average number of documents in a deal jacket at a dealership is 150. This is a highly government regulated transaction.
It's everyone's dream to grow, to be a bigger dealer, to be a better dealer, or even get your first dealership.
Car buying is about the people.
Everybody wants to know what's the car business like, and they like to see under the hood.
Welcome to the Walk Around Podcast. Well, we are thrilled to have Mike Stanton, President and CEO of NADA, with us on the Walk Around Podcast. Mike, pleasure to have you. Thank you for sharing your time with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
We are so glad you're here. We know you are a very busy man all the time, but especially this week, and to take out the time to really, talk to Mark and I and our listeners about what's going on in the automotive industry. And NADA's focal point is really important. So thank you again. So why don't we just jump right in?
Let's do it.
All righty. So just want to kick it off. Our dealers, you're here. What are some things right now? How are dealers feeling right now? And what indicators are out there around their pulse around affordability concerns, interest rate concerns? What are dealers feeling right now about the economic concerns that are out there?
Yeah, I would say, first off, the energy on this floor here at NADA, the show, has been unrivaled. Dealers are they're an optimistic bunch, no matter what. But you've mentioned some of the concerns. One being affordability. Certainly, there's some issues out there with some of our manufacturers. So these things vary on a manufacturer by manufacturer basis. But with regard to affordability, that probably comes up more than anything. Dealers are looking for more leasing, interest rates to improve. These longer term loans have got some of us, concerned.
Yeah.
So NADA, our mentality is we want to create an environment where dealers can continue to thrive and continue to get better. So when it comes to affordability, we will work through the dealer council. We collect dealer opinion through our dealer attitude survey. We share that information directly in face-to-face meetings with the manufacturers. We work with the council. With regard to public policy, we've always supported legislation that drives down the cost of vehicles. So again, we're just trying to set up an environment. We don't work manufacturer by manufacturer. So for us, and again, it varies so much there. But our focus is in the public policy arena, and then again, working with the dealer councils.
And the outlook for this year, do you feel like dealers are positive about the outlook, even though there are these financial concerns?
Overall, yes. Do we think we'll get to 16 million? We do. We thought we'd be 16-ish last year, and we got to 16.2. There were concerns mid-year with the tariffs, but the manufacturers have generally decided to absorb those and have not. They all want their market share, so they've absorbed those. They have not passed that on to the dealer, so those have not been passed on to the consumer. So we're still thinking a 16 million SAR is very doable. Again, there are challenges by manufacturer by manufacturer for sure.
Mike, you mentioned public policy. That's always an important aspect of our industry, and franchise laws, of course, are a big component. Where do you see franchise laws evolving over the next few years to continue to help the dealer body stay relevant? Are there things that you're focused on in NADA, things that dealers, maybe some advice that you have to dealers that they should get involved with that would help?
Yeah, my advice to dealers is always get engaged. So we can talk about that hopefully a little later. NADA's primary mission is to strengthen the franchise system, and the backbone of the franchise system are these state franchise laws. And on the surface, those laws may sound, well, these are protectionist and it's anti-competition. Nothing could be further from the truth. Franchise laws are not just good for dealers, they're good for consumers, because dealers are in a position to advocate for their consumers, and they're actually good for the manufacturers, even though some of them forget that at times. It's which can be frustrating. But if you think about the massive investments that dealers need to make to buy the land, to adhere to the facility requirements from the manufacturers, you're not going to get that kind of dollar. You're not going to get that kind of entrepreneur to invest in something without some level of a line of sight on a return. So that's what franchise laws do. They will give a dealer an ability to see a reasonable ROI on their investment, a lot of which is dictated by the franchise agreement with the manufacturer. So at NADA, we support the states. So there are over 100 state and metro dealer associations out there that are not affiliated. We're not a federated organization. We work together and we support these states. And how do we do that? Well, there's a different franchise law in each state. We keep a compendium of all that information. We have resources, we have outside counsel to make sure that we are advising. We are kind of the glue or the reference manual, if you will, to help the states that maybe need to strengthen their franchise law. We can be the go-between between their law and another state's law. And of course, this group they're called Automotive Trade Association executives. I'm one of them. And we're always comparing notes because at the end of the day, the dealer is our customer.
Are there any trends or things that you're focused on specifically around how franchise laws are evolving or things you're focused on in the short term?
Well, of course, I mean, we've all read and heard about VW and Scout, Sony and Honda and their misguided, foolish attempts to divert resources from their own dealer partners and compete directly with their own dealer partners. So the NADA is in the fight on those, and the way we're in the fight is we have their challenges in both California and Florida, very strong franchise laws with regard to these situations, and NADA is supporting both of those challenges from a financial perspective. And it could be a game of whack-a-mole. We will see. But I think Florida and California, we have a very good chance to win, and we will keep fighting the fight. And my assertion is even if these misguided attempts result in some direct-to-consumer sales in some states, they're going to screw it up. It's hard enough to make a great car.
It is.
And those that have tried to make a car and then sell a car at the same time, with one exception, have failed miserably. You look at the ones trying to do it now, the one exception being Tesla. They rode it into orbit, early adopters, government subsidies, and a pretty darn good product. But you look at Rivian and Lucid, they're hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
Absolutely hemorrhaging money. And then you look back to factory retail experiments, Vroom, the whole, we need a new model to sell EVs. Now there's talk about autonomous vehicles. There are numerous examples of people underestimating the complexity and just the amount of work it takes to run a dealership, right?
Yeah.
Both from a sales, finance, body shop, service, parts. During COVID, it looked easy. It's not easy.
I think we've focused so much on the transaction aspect of it, right? Like consumers want an Amazon-like experience when they are buying a car. But I think, which is what some of these companies focused on, right? The experience of that is great. The website, the opportunity to shop. But then when it comes to the purchase, the process, the complications, the service, like that's where they didn't, I think, realize.
I heard somebody on the Scout team say buying a car should be like buying a T-shirt on Amazon.
It'll never be that.
It will. First off,
It's not a T-shirt.
the average number of documents in a deal jacket at a dealership is 150. This is a highly government regulated transaction. And think about buying a house, And we also have to realize consumers, we need to focus as dealers on meeting them where they want to be met in the process. They're not all the same.
That's right.
And I've seen some research that we've conducted, not yet ready to publish with a third party. It's actually the younger consumer that is more comfortable with their experience at the dealership, as long as what they did before they got to the dealership through their research matches what they see when they get to the store. That's right. So it's back to we sell one car at a time. Everybody's different, and we need to be able to meet the needs of everybody. And those needs are very, very different when you're buying a T-shirt versus buying a car. Think about, credit profile, driving pattern,
Lending.
losing, trade-in.
Right.
You know, it's
It's a complex process, and why not rely on the retailers with the experience to carry that through versus trying to modernize just one aspect of it?
well, and there's a lot of people that still want to talk to people.
Yeah. We hear that too.
So, Mike, I want to just pivot a little bit and talk to you a little bit about your perspective on dealer consolidation and how it affects the strength, independence, and local presence of dealerships. And what does it mean for NADA?
So I look at it a couple of ways. Number one, we see a lot of very smart businessmen acquiring more and more dealerships. To me, that's reassuring in terms of the strength of our model. So that's a good thing. We're not in this scenario where the little guy is getting gobbled up by the big guy, like you would see with a Home Depot and hardware stores. These are willing sellers to buyers. And so, and you also see efficiencies, and that can be, but the dealers are so, especially in the rural communities, we're not seeing a lot of consolidation there, and that's where the relationships matter. I do worry from a bigger perspective that we have a grassroots net 18,000 rooftops out there in every community, good relationships with their lawmakers. And that is one of our strengths in terms of creating a public policy environment to help both consumers and dealers thrive. As consolidation continues, we as NADA are going to need to do a better job identifying kind of that next gen or that next level at the dealership to make sure that we're a good team of lobbyists at NADA, but the dealers are our best lobbyists, and we need to make sure that we have that touch, in every community that we have today.
So are you concerned that consolidation is going to lead to maybe, a reduction in the membership or the strength of the membership?
Well, no. I mean, we've been at 91% membership for as long as I've been with NADA. This is for now over 20 years now. Dealers are very, very loyal, right, to the association. I don't worry about members. I don't worry about revenue. I worry about engaging.
And regardless of if it's a 50-store rooftop or a 3-store rooftop, as long as they're engaged in what's happening from a legislative perspective, a regulatory perspective, consumer purchase habits, brand.
Yeah, at NADA, we can recite what's good for dealers backwards and forwards, but the lawmakers want to hear from their constituents, and they want to hear the actual experience, the story. So we've got great storytellers, and we just got to make sure we keep our number of storytellers at or above current level. And that's just an ongoing challenge. It's it's a certainly a top 10 issue for NADA, and we got plans to address.
Mike, I have to ask, I hear some people say, I'll see you at NADA. Is that nails on a chalkboard for you?
Yes.
It's like, I see it in your face. I saw
That's
it
right.
in your face.
Me too when he said that. Yes. DA. I saw it.
I correct people. I just want to make sure I am asking the right authority on whether I should be correcting people.
I'm glad they're here. I don't really care that much. But it is fun.
It's not NADA. Okay.
Well, this week at NADA, a historic agreement was signed between the U.S. Department of Labor, NADA, ASE, which is Automotive Service Excellence, and the state workforce agencies to launch the first national standardized competency-based registered service technician apprenticeship program. And we all know that is critically important, is finding technicians for our dealers. That is a huge opportunity from a workforce perspective. So
yeah, we talked earlier yesterday, in fact, with a gentleman who, gave us a great perspective.
Ted Ings.
Ted Ings
from Fixed Ops Roundtable was
It's
here.
not that we have a technician shortage. We are lacking in talent development.
That's true.
And so I think this program helps address that in terms of the pipeline and the development of technicians. Can you talk a little bit about this program and what that looks like?
We've had a lot of starts with this. It's been a problem, technician shortages have been a problem forever and ever. But to see the Department of Labor lean in, the dealers and ADA leaning in with a great organization like ASE, you know, that's a powerhouse. And we're very excited. You know, it's a career. The folks that get involved in the dealership, no matter what department, if they commit to it and they work hard, they can do anything. It's kind of it's one of the last great examples of the American dream. Work hard and as a technician, you can graduate from an apprentice through tech to master tech. You can literally write your own career path, and then you can live wherever you want in the country, because no matter what dealer I talk to, they can always hire another technician, 2 or 3.
It's a scalable, repeatable technician pipeline that they are building. It's such an exciting program and opportunity, and just congratulations to NADA and what you all have done. It's amazing.
Yeah. What else are you looking forward to this year? What has you excited? What's your areas that you're really dialed in on?
You know, I think I've got one of the best jobs in the industry, because I get to work with dealers. They're just a lot of fun. And you never know what dealers are going to throw at you. You never know what the country, what the world is going to throw at you. I think that, look, I'm a big believer in the franchise system. There's misconceptions out there that we will continue to fight. I'm very optimistic that the year's going to be good. We had such a great year last year in terms of public policy wins. And we've got some things to tackle this year. I mean, I mentioned direct sales. We also have something, and I won't get too policy wonkish on this, I promise, but there's something called the Surface Transportation Reauthorization Act. This renews every 5 years, and we've got a long list of things that we want included in that act that'll be good for dealers, good for the industry, and we want to make sure that we knock the bad things out. Again, setting that environment where the dealers can be successful. We also have to have that mentality that we have to do better. We just have to do better in terms of our customer experience. And it's a challenging one, but it's something that we will continue to lean in on. And then you can't have a discussion without talking about AI. But from my perspective, we need to make sure the dealer is protected from a compliance perspective, make sure that we're offering the right things in terms of education, but also getting in the middle of AI when it comes to the car company dealer relationship, making sure that there are principles around that. I mean, imagine a customer bot, car company bot, and a dealer bot all talking to each other. What could go wrong? I mean, we don't have that down all that smooth now. So that, and then the vendor to dealer relationship in that space. So those are things we need to make sure we stay ahead of, or at least in terms of AI. I don't know how you stay ahead of it, but do our best to make sure that we're advising dealers properly on keeping them safe, but also making them more efficient, what it is, what it isn't. All of those things are on our radar.
Well, Mike, you got a big job. Yeah, we appreciate everything you do. I will continue correcting people, not to say NADA.
NADA.
And thank you for your time, your insights, and for sharing what you're working on.
Well, no, the industry. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Thank you for being here on the convention floor. And thank you for all JM&A does for its dealer partners. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
We need each other.
Yes, we do.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you.
We really appreciate you joining us today on The Walk Around, and we hope you enjoyed the episode. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow us. We look forward to seeing you next time on The Walk Around.